Welcome back everybody, my name is Nick930 and this is a special video review for my first virtual reality experience, Arizona Sunshine. Arizona Sunshine is a virtual reality first-person zombie shooter that takes place in a small canyon area of Arizona, and it may be one of the most ambitious virtual reality games so far. While it may not be as deep as modern-day zombie shooter video games, Arizona Sunshine more than makes up for it with its incredible immersion and excellent controls. Arizona Sunshine initially boots up with a virtual main menu inside of a trailer. You can walk around this trailer and interact with the various objects like tennis balls, cans, and refrigerator doors. The main menu is an old video game console that requires you to pick up video game cartridges and insert them in order to load them up. To choose options in the sub-menus, you need to pick up a little sensor gun and aim it at the screen. The menu looks and works great, and it really helps sell that whole VR experience, but it can be a bit tedious if you're trying to test settings and you're constantly restarting the game. Now let's talk a bit about the game's story campaign. The campaign starts with you waking up inside of a cave in a post-apocalyptic Arizona canyon. It isn't clear who our character is, but he occasionally chimes in with some funny lines, and the voice acting is delivered very well. After grabbing some weapons and shooting a few zombies, you begin traveling through some very linear canyon paths with tons of abandoned cars and small buildings to loot for extra ammo and weapons. The zombies increase in difficulty as you progress through the game, with some zombies sprinting towards you and others wearing bulletproof helmets and armor. Occasionally, you'll run into sequences where you need to trigger a horde of zombies to attack you, which can be some of the most intense moments in the game, requiring you to position yourself appropriately and put your own real-life ability to aim a gun to the test. The story only takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete, but the experience is a lot like those arcade zombie shooter games that are always fun to replay just for the immersive experience, and I personally expect to replay this game several times. But if replaying the story campaign doesn't interest you, there's always the Horde mode, which places you in a small arena with limited access to weapons and ammo, and an endless horde of zombies split up by short intervals that allow you to catch your breath. There's also a cooperative mode for the campaign, but since I don't know anyone else that owns a VR headset, I didn't get a chance to try this out. You can always play cooperatively with a random player online, but the difficulty scales significantly to accompany another player, making for a much harder experience, so you better hope you're paired with someone with good aim. But while the story and extra game modes are nice, the real meat of any virtual reality experience is the gameplay. Arizona Sunshine has excellent first-person shooter gameplay, and various options to satisfy all types of virtual reality players. The game by default offers the teleporting mechanic for movement, allowing you to simply hold a button and release to go to specific locations nearby, which can help you cross distances without any motion sickness, but it can be difficult to use in tight situations, especially when a large horde of zombies enters the picture. If you want, you can switch the movement to the touchpad for a more immersive experience, but if you're prone to motion sickness, I highly recommend disabling this. The motion tracking and aiming works incredibly well with the HTC Vive, and I never felt like I needed to awkwardly adjust my aim like I would with the motion controllers for the Wii or the PlayStation Move. Aiming down the iron sights of guns works exactly how you'd expect, and anytime I missed a shot, I had no one to blame but myself. To reload your guns, you need to release the magazine with the touchpad button, and then bring the gun to your ammo belt. I did run into a few issues with the reload mechanic. Since the buttons for rotating the character are left and right on the touchpad, I found it easy to accidentally drop my magazine on the ground when trying to reposition myself, requiring me to awkwardly fumble around on the ground for my dropped magazine before the zombies get to me. Aside from that, the gameplay feels great and makes you feel like a total badass as you akimbo different types of handguns and alternate between firing them and reloading them like some kind of action movie star. The game features a ton of different weapon types ranging from different calibers of pistols to submachine guns and even frag grenades. I did find the grenades a bit awkward to use though, and I would often accidentally drop them on the ground as I tried to reach for my holster to grab my gun in an intense situation. Even when you pull the pin and try throwing the grenades, they don't seem to go very far. It feels as if you're throwing a ton of bricks. But the explosion is satisfying when they do work, and watching the zombies explode after you roll a grenade at their feet is always awesome. The game's head tracking is also excellent and makes the experience all the more immersive. Being able to duck down behind cars and aim through windows and peek around corners and doorways shows the awesome potential of virtual reality, and this game is an excellent demonstration to show just that. The graphics and performance aren't the best in gaming, but they get the job done, and the level of detail on objects and weapons is superb. Environmental detail is lacking, and water simulation is pretty basic, and overall it definitely feels like you're inside of an arcade game. But being able to look around and see massive canyon walls around you isn't something you can experience even in the best looking AAA games, so I can handle the lower graphical quality. When I tried to boost the graphics in the menu to increase super sampling and shadow quality, I found performance took a nosedive even with a GTX 1080 Ti and an i7 6700K processor. So I decided to stick with some recommended settings with a few tweaks here and there to reduce aliasing, and I managed to get a pretty stable frame rate with some decent visual quality. There's still some more tweaking to be had here, but I'll save that for a graphical benchmark video in the future. Arizona Sunshine costs $40 and includes a short story campaign with a cooperative option and a limited survival mode. The graphics are some of the better graphics on the virtual reality platform, but won't really blow you away either. But the feeling of lining up the sights on a .45 pistol and blowing zombies' heads off, and then spinning around to kill 3 more zombies with a MAC-10 makes it all worth it, and Arizona Sunshine ends up being completely worth the price of admission. I look forward to booting up this game and blasting some more zombies away, and this will likely be one of the lead games I'll use to demonstrate what this device can do. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and if you want to see more from me, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.